Alright, boys, so I was planning on doing the Valentine's guide just in, a week or so because we were supposed to be getting this in like the middle of February, but the NA version's Twitter was like, actually, instead of 2 weeks, it's coming in like 2 days. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and do the guide now for you guys. You can go ahead and start prepping for this event. And this is actually one of the more lax events in FGO. It's just, very enjoyable, very fits with the theme, because I mean, the main draw for the event is that you get a lot of these Valentine's CEs for your servants, and you get like special cute scenes with them. You get like chocolates from all the female servants, and usually all the male servants just give you like gifts and stuff. Like Lancelot gives you a sword or something, right? Like he just gives you some weird stuff. So they're just really nice extra bits of lore. If you don't really care about that, you can use them as CE bombs because they're max level CEs. You can be a monster and use them as CE bombs, but other than that, they're just very cute little scenes. That's kind of like the main draw for the Valentine's event, but other than that, it's pretty much your standard .jpeg event. So that's what we'll be talking about in today's video. If you have not already, leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. I do daily FGO content. I'm on that daily grind for you guys, and that helps me out more than you know. If you want a free way to support the channel, I'm affiliated with Loot Cakes and LD Emulator by all means. Link down in the description down below. And no, you will not get your account deleted if you put it on an emulator, but it's a good way to have like setting up macros and stuff so it'll farm automatically for you. Or if you want to start another account or play on JP or something like that, LD Emulator is very good for that. Also, if you want more content, I stream every weekday over on the Twitch. And if you click that join button, you can get channel member exclusive content. Now, with all that being said, let's talk about this event. So, as I was mentioning earlier, at the very beginning, we have this where basically every single servant that you have in your box will give you a CE, like once you've gotten enough points, or you can exchange it for certain CEs that are on the event. You'll get these like little chocolate things. You use those to exchange for different CEs, and you get those CEs, you get a little special bonus scene for your servant, and essentially you get a max level 4-star CE, which you can hold on to if you just want to kind of like cherish something that you got from your servants, or you can use it to CE bomb because you will get them back next year. Every single Valentine's event, you can kind of re-get the different CE things, so you can just kind of use them as CE bombs if you want to. I understand newer players not wanting to feel like a monster and do it, but, once you're a veteran like me, you're kind of just like, hey, bro, I really appreciate this crown that you gave me, Artoria, but I got a K-scope that I need to get to max level, you feel me? So you could definitely use it for that. Otherwise, they're just nice little cute CEs. They also do function as event bonus drop things as well. So if you're going to use them for CE bombs, maybe wait till after the event is done, because you have to equip the proper CE to the servant you're going to be using, and then they'll give you bonus drop for the event. That being said, when it comes to actually farming the event over here, all of the nodes are very normal, except for this one. But this is obviously the easiest one. But if you look at all of these, they're all just normal 333 nodes. There's nothing super complex going on about them. This should be a very easy event to farm because they're all just standard 333 enemy nodes. It's pretty much just the standard for farming anything, so it shouldn't be hard at all in that capacity. As far as free items that we're going to be getting for this event, the new CE that we're getting, the free-to-play CE, is very good. It just gives you built-in Pierce Invasion. It gives you 15% NP damage just for free, and it starts with 50%. This is already very good. Any free 50% starting charge CE is already going to pretty much already be good. But the fact that it's a free, just permanent Pierce Invasion, not Pierce Invasion, Pierce Evasion, my bad. The fact that it's just going to give you that passively is very strong, because let's say you're struggling with, like, say, I don't know, the William Tell fight in Lost Belt 4, where he has like 20 turns of random dodging or whatever. You can just slap this on one of your servants and you don't have to worry about bringing somebody with sure hit on them, because you'll automatically just have that for the entirety of the fight, as as long as your servant doesn't get obliterated or something and they have the CE on. And so it's very useful for people. And then the fact that it just gives you just 15% bonus NP damage is just a generic buff that any servant would want. So it's just a very solid CE. If you're having troubles with any enemies that are going to be using dodges, or they're going to be using dodges in the future. So this is very good. Then I think the main command code that we're getting is pretty strong. Just getting like 20% free demonic damage mod is very strong. You can put it on someone like Murasaki Shikabue, who already has a demonic damage mod. I think that's the best way to go about using it, since you're probably going to use them against demonic people anyway. But I don't know, maybe you don't have Murasaki and you're like, man, I really just want to put this on my Gilgamesh, because I know my Gilgamesh is always fighting demonic enemies. I bring him to anything, then go ahead and slap him on that. Because keep in mind, that 20% damage mod, that is a damage mod. That's a legitimate buff that's going to multiply into like your attack buffs, your buster buffs, all that other stuff, and it's going to make that card hit very hard. And so especially if you're putting it on like a buster card or something, you can get some very strong buster crit damage if you're critting a demonic opponent. The unfortunate thing is that the other two I don't think are really all that good. Like this one, if you have like a servant that has like a burn niche, it can be kind of good. I mean, they didn't make it completely bad because they also gave it this ability to drop 2 stars as well. Like I think that's fine. Like if you want to put it on, I don't know, maybe your buster card, if it's like a buster servant, you want to just have them drop a few extra stars, or it's an art servant, you're like, oh, I want them to be able to gen like at least 2 stars with their arts card. I guess you could do that because you're probably not going to put it on a quick servant because they're already going to be genning enough stars as is, but I guess you could put it on a quick card if you want to guarantee, like if you're like, man, I'm always finding myself genning 48 stars, let me guarantee that 50, then I guess more power to you, you can use it for that. But unless you have a servant that has a specific burn niche, it's really just not going to be all that useful. And then this one I kind of just think is absolute dog water, dude. Like removing 1 critical damage buff from an enemy and then you recover 100 HP, like this is literally nothing, and then this is just so situational. It's just so random. You guess you could put it on like a support type servant, so you at least have that. Like it could be good for that, but it's just a whatever command code, right? It's like it's whatever. It doesn't really do a whole lot for you. Then we have the actual challenge quest itself. Now, this one doesn't actually seem all that difficult. I can't give you a specific build that I've used because I didn't do this on the JP version of the game. But if we look at it, realistically, your best strategy is probably just to burn down the Say over here, because this is Waver, this is Say. And so your best strategy is probably just to like burst down Say. If you don't have, this is, by the way, if you don't have like a really good AoE, if you have someone like Musashi Berserker, or you have like Arjuna Alter, you could probably just obliterate the both of them. But if you don't have that, you could easily just burst down someone like Say, and then just have someone like Kentucky Rider, or just a strong rider in your back pocket, and they'll probably be able to solo Waver, to be honest. And the reason I say that is because Waver has this buff whenever his break bar is popped that he gives Say like all these like annoying like buffs. So like she's gonna smack you with her NP, she's gonna pierce your defense, just annoying stuff. And so if you want to burst her down first with someone like just anyone like Skahawk, if you want to bring you know, even just Ku or someone like, just someone that can do like very decent in a challenge, but it's a Lancer, you could probably just burst her down very quickly and really just kind of avoid all this. The main gimmick is this right here. Basically, whenever she hits you with her NP, she'll increase your attack by 20%, but only if she actually did damage to you. So if you were hiding behind evasion or invincibility, you actually won't get the buff, but then she gives herself a 40% attack buff. So basically, she's kind of like punishing you for using like Merlin's second skill, like the AoE dodge, or like Scotty's NP, because since you're evading the damage of the NP, you're giving her more attack anyway, but like she's gonna get that buff anyway. It's just really weird. Again, just burst her down, it's really not that big of a deal. Just know that you can't NP seal them either, because, you know, Waver is giving everybody in the party NP seal debuff immunity, so you can't like stall or anything like that. I mean, you could stun, I guess you could try to do that, I guess, if you want, but really, like, you look at all this, you're like, not really a big deal. The only things you need to worry about is that when you start, Waver's going to charge the NP gauge to max, and when his break bar breaks, he's going to give her a full NP. Not himself, but just her, you know what I'm saying? So that's really all you got to worry about. The annoying thing is that Say doesn't have like too many exploitable traits. Like there's not really a Lancer that's really like exploiting anything here. Like you could just bring Jack, you could bring, I mean, you could probably even get by with Carmilla or somebody that's just anti-female, and they could probably be fine, but there's not really like a Lancer here that we have that really exploits anything she's got going, right? Like you could bring someone like Skahawk, she'd probably do good. Like you could just nuke one of her bars, and especially if you bring double Scotty, you'll probably do very effective. You could bring Brynhilder, but unfortunately she doesn't have weak to Brynhilder's Beloved. But if you have double Merlin, you could probably burst her down pretty fast with like crits and everything. You could try to get by with someone like Enkidu as well. Enkidu just does massive damage, like he just hits really hard, even without his damage mod. Very good for soloing, very good for challenge quests. You could bring him. Other standouts as far as like single targets are, I mean, you could bring Kagetora, she's pretty good for it as well. You bring her, pretty solid. Those are like some standouts, but realistically, I even think you could probably get away with using someone like Karna as well. Like, I know that sounds like a meme, but I'm pretty sure you could get by with this challenge quest because there's not a whole lot of super insane things that they're doing. It's kind of like, just don't be a complete dunce and you'll get through it just fine. And again, I just recommend going after her first, because it's not like she does anything when she dies. Like literally, like she does nothing. You just beat her up, and then you just got to deal with Waver. And I mean, unless Waver turns himself into like the primary DPS or something, I think you'll be fine. But that's really all there is for this event. Like it's a Valentine's event, and the Valentine's events are all like just very chill, mellow events. Not a whole lot that's going to be super intense. I mean, even the challenge quest is very easy, and I think that says something. There's no weird nodes. You can basically just use any of your Valentine CEs, and that functions as your like special CE drop bonus, right? And, it's just a very mellow event, right? You're just supposed to enjoy it, and so it's fairly easy. After having the Benny Enma event, which is really annoying, and then having the tower event, which is fun if it's your first time doing a tower event, but if it's, you've already done like the Setsubun one, or you've done it on JP, it's definitely not fun doing it like your 5th time. So that's definitely just a nice change of pace for someone like me, who's like, let me just get like a nice casual event that I can like log in, use some natural AP, do a little bit of farming, and then just get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Hope this kind of eased your nerves and kind of like gave you guys a heads up on what you should be expecting from this event. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace. Late, guys.